Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about lucid dreaming and how you can use lucid dreaming to shift realities. I've always been super interested in lucid dreaming. I used to try and do it all the time. I have done it before, mostly by accident, but I want to do some research and learn how it can be applied specifically to shifting. So I have all of my notes here, and let's go through it together. First of all, what is a lucid dream? A lucid dream is a type of dream where you become aware that you're dreaming while in the REM sleep stage. So REM is when you have, it's rapid eye movement. So it's usually when you see people that are sleeping and their eyes are moving from under their eyelids. It's because they're dreaming. So REM stage is when you dream. So during a lucid dream, you can control the dream's narrative, characters, and environment. It's considered a hybrid state of consciousness, combining elements of REM sleep with your waking awareness. So it's like you're awake, you have all the consciousness and awareness of when you're awake, except you're in a dream. So any intention becomes your reality in the dream. It's really cool. It's really freaky. And there are different stages of lucidity. So I'm going to talk about it later on. Let's get into it. How to become lucid. So there are lots of different ways you can go about this. It's a lot like shifting, find what works for you and stick to it. Try out different things. But I'm going to go over a few that I found here. Little techniques, tips, and methods. Okay? So first we have dream recall, which is when every time you have a dream, you wake up, like when you wake up, you write it down in a dream journal or in your notes app or Notion, whatever you want. But the point is to recall as much of the dream as you can. It just really makes you practice being aware of your dreams, because the more you try to remember, then suddenly you're aware that you're dreaming and you become lucid. It's a super important step. It helps you remember the way the dream feels, therefore helping you realize that you're in a dream. So I would highly recommend keeping a dream journal. Write down anything and everything that you can remember from every dream that you had the night before. Before you fall asleep, you can set the intention or affirm, I will remember my dream in the morning. I love remembering my dreams. Stuff like that. And try to look for patterns in your dreams. So if you notice you have a recurring dream and you think to yourself, oh, I've been here before, I know what's going to happen, then practice remembering that so that you can become lucid. And read through your dream journal every so often and imagine yourself getting lucid in those dreams. Just as good practice. Next up, we have reality checks. As you probably know, most dreams don't really make that much sense. So at the time that you're dreaming, you think, oh, this is a little odd, but probably normal. And then when you wake up, you're like, what the fuck was that? So reality checks can help you remember to check if it's real when you're dreaming, okay? There are lots of ways that you can do reality checks. Some people count their fingers. Some people try and stick their finger through their palm, or they try and yell. And obviously when I try and stick my finger through my palm right now, it doesn't go through. But if I'm dreaming, it'll go right through. So doing this habit every once in a while and thinking, I wonder if I'm dreaming. Oh, not right now. Doing that throughout the day for days on end, weeks on end, whatever. There's a hair flying. Eventually it'll become a habit and you'll do it when you're dreaming. Once you do it in a dream, you'll realize that you're not awake, you're actually in a dream, and then you become lucid. Another big one is plugging your nose and trying to breathe. So if you do it right now, you can't breathe, obviously. But if you're in a dream, you can breathe. So the main thing is choosing an action that you can repeat throughout the day with the intention of checking if you're dreaming. And eventually it'll happen in your dream and you'll realize it and become lucid. So those were like tips and techniques to help you realize that you're dreaming when you're already asleep. This one is like a method to get lucid, like right off the bat, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, it's called the wake back to sleep method. It's similar, there's a shifting method for that too. It's when you set your alarm for like 3 a.m., which is when people are usually in the REM stage of sleep. So you set your alarm for 3 a.m., you wake up, you do something for a few minutes just to help you fully wake up. Maybe you can count your fingers, do your reality checks, and then you go back to sleep. And essentially what should be happening in a perfect world is you immediately go back into REM sleep while still a little bit conscious from being awake. So you automatically realize that you're dreaming from the get-go. You're skipping all the previous stages that normally happen when you go to bed. So your brain is still awake and your body's asleep. You know, the classic shifting thing. So therefore you would be lucid and can control your dream. If you are in a lucid dream, you notice, holy cow, I'm dreaming. That's fantastic. Good job. So now it's time to stabilize your dream, which I learned about this just now. This is something that I've never done before, so it'll be really helpful. So I found when I lucid dream, I get really excited and I try to rush to make a portal to shift and I just don't think about it. And that's why it hasn't been working, is because I haven't been stabilizing my dream. To stabilize your dream, some people use touch, they use taste, they'll like lick the wall or something in their dream, and it's just using your 5 senses in your dream in order to make your dream feel more real. You can touch the floor, rub your hands together, you can yell, just something to make it feel real. Even just like genuinely asking yourself or telling yourself that you're dreaming, you know, can help you realize it more clearly. Yeah, I read one girl said that they summoned a fruit because it's your dream and whatever you say goes. So you can say, give me an apple. You have an apple in your hand and you take a bite out of it, taste all the flavors and stuff, see the color of the apple. That'll really stabilize you in your dream because all these senses are being used. Remind yourself that you have time. Try not to feel rushed or excited about shifting or whatever, because any little thought that you have materializes in your dream because you're lucid. So if you think, oh my god, I can't wait to go to my DR, and you start thinking about your desired reality, it'll start to change into your desired reality, but it might not be quite right because you're not fully, you're not clear about it, or it might be a little bit jumbled. So it's best to just stay calm, relaxed, and have a plan, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what to do, or what can work. Question: if you were to shift realities right now, how would you do it? Okay, if you could open a door or make a portal or step through the window, whatever, what would you do to shift realities? What seems right? Some people say it's a portal. Some people say that they can see a door and they open it and walk through it. Some people, I saw one person say that they ate a food that reminded them of their desired reality, and then they fell back through the floor into their DR. So it can be literally whatever, as long as it makes sense to you, really. Me personally, I like to visualize a door with like a glowing light on the other side, maybe. My DR door, so it'll change depending on the DR. And then you can feel the knob turning, maybe the knob's cold. Open it, bam. You might not be able to see inside the door, but you can still walk through it. Before you go through the portal or fall on the floor or whatever, make sure that you affirm and that you truly believe that when you walk through that door, you'll be in your desired reality. Don't just, make a portal and go through. Like, take the time, be like, okay, when I go through this door, it's happening, it's real. I'll be excited in the moment, but for now, I'm going to walk through the door and I'm going to shift realities. And then go through. Like, really prepare yourself. Because I never do that and it doesn't work. So rushing doesn't make a difference. It won't work. Okay, this is a side note. On one of the Reddit posts that I looked at for this, someone mentioned that when you walk through the portal or the door or whatever, you'll end up in your desired reality, but you might be sleeping. So you'll be dreaming in your DR. Okay? So if you walk through the door, you're in your DR, maybe it's not where you expected you'd end up, but you're still in your DR, just pick a spot to sleep and go to sleep in your lucid dream, and you'll wake up in that spot in your DR. Okay? I'm no pro lucid dreamer. Is that just that person's perspective? Like, I don't know if it works for everyone like that. I'm not sure. But if for some reason that does happen, then you're not awake in your desired reality, then try going to sleep there, and then in the morning in your DR, you'll wake up in that spot. Let me know if it works. Or I'll let you know if that ever happens to me. I can't emphasize enough that how you get into a lucid dream, how you get to your DR through the lucid dream, it really is so personal to you. Like, you can try different people's methods for sure, but like shifting, it'll boil down to what you believe will work or won't work. Because if you don't think that a portal makes sense, then don't do a portal, because it won't work for you. And even if you don't want to shift, lucid dreaming is still a great way to, like, just explore different things. It's the next best thing to shifting, in my opinion. Maybe even better, because you're not limited to that DR in the moment. Lucid dreaming, you can do whatever you want to do. I've seen people talk to their higher self through their lucid dream. They just ask for them to appear, and they appear, and they can ask them questions about shifting or about whatever, and they'll answer accordingly, I guess. Again, I haven't tried. I've also seen people say that the characters in your DR can sometimes stop you from shifting. I don't know how that works. It's never happened to me before, so I wouldn't stress too much about it. If it does happen to you, then you're not alone, I guess. But I just wouldn't even concern myself with it, because if you start to think about it in your lucid dream, then you're probably just intending it to happen in your lucid dream. So I would just hang out and chill. I read through my notes like a speed demon. If anyone out there is more familiar with lucid dreaming than I am, please explain your perspective in the comments, because I'm very interested and open to learning more, because there's so much to do with it. And then on top of lucid dreaming, there's astral projection, and it's a whole nother ball game. Please tell me your methods, tell me any tips or tricks that you got, because I'm always up to learn more. And I will have another video for you in the future once I am a baddie with lucid dreaming. That's all for now. Happy shifting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!